Ladies and gent, the thing is, a lot of women want to be saying, no, you know what, a man should be paying for my bills, he should be paying for my dinner, he should be paying for my holidays. But then when it comes to feminine roles, you're like, oh no, we should be equal, and this and that. I think that's why this topic has been brought up, because it's like, what are the roles? What do we have as roles as women, and what should men do? If you want a man to be doing the garbage, to be doing this and that, then you should be able to pay for your own bills.
So I think that is definitely something that should be done like equally. Firstly, I don't like cooking. So me and my husband, we're going to have to be rich enough to get a chef. He either needs to love how to cook. You must cook. Or love it, or you must have enough money for us to get a chef. I'm not done.
Okay.
No. The thing is,
hi, family and friends. Welcome back to another episode of OnlyFacts Podcast. So excited to have you here. I am Alison, your host, and this is Mr.
Lorenzo.
Yes, sir. So today we're going to be talking about gender roles. We have two really cool guests, young, vibrant, beautiful ladies, and they're going to be giving us a little bit of opinions, insights about how they feel about gender roles.
Sorry. What was the topic again?
Gender roles.
I mean, guys, I know the topic. I just wanted you guys to get the topic.
Okay, gender roles. So, on my right, I'm going to start with you, Mandy, and then you can go through. Then we can go from there. Yeah. So, introduce yourself, sweetheart.
My name is Mandy Sibego. I am 22 years old. I'm a student from Johannesburg, South Africa. It's actually my second time being on this podcast. Thank you for having me again. And
love it. You too, my darling.
Hello, I am Devika. I am 28 years old, and this is my debut. OnlyFacts. And I work as a data governance expert at Carl Zeiss AG, which is, I'm not doing any kind of promotion for Carl Zeiss here, but it's a very old German company specializing in optics and optoelectronics. And I also have a background in philosophy and political science and data.
Okay.
Why did she go after me? She should have presented herself. I should
I feel like even if she introduced herself before you, you would have been like, but no.
No, we are all equal.
Everyone has their own part.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I know.
She's 28, you're 22.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, I was absolutely surprised you're 22.
She's very mature, right?
Yeah, so when I say surprising me, in terms of mindset wise, not how you look like 19.
You're trying to tell me I'm old.
I'm saying you look 19, you look 19, but 19 that's as a very mature mind, so I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, we're all equal, bro.
Yeah.
You're cool, bro.
Yeah. You're getting there. At some point, you're going to be like David as well. So,
yes.
Cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, let's start off. Guys, I feel like things have changed. First of all, are you guys feminists?
I am.
Oh. Love it. The silence.
No, I honestly... that's a little bit difficult to answer. Not because I'm not a feminist. No. The thing is, my views, I think they are normal views. Like, I think that's how everyone, that's the normal standard. So I don't know what. No, I do know what feminism is, but then, I'm always when people define feminism, I'm just like, yeah, that's how we should all think.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
If someone says, I'm a feminist because I stand for women's rights and I stand for women being treated as equally as men, I'm like, but that's normal.
As
that's how
that is how it should.
Why isn't that my normal mindset has to have a certain term?
No, it's because people have a strict opinion towards certain roles. Let's say we're coming to a household, a man and a woman, they're living together, they've gotten married. Sometimes a woman should not be doing electricity jobs.
ridiculous, right?
Ridiculous,
But that's
right?
the thing, like I ask myself if, because for me, like
man.
the views and the mentality of a feminist are normal views. So like if that's not normal, what's the norm? Like what do people who aren't feminists like think? Like what?
Sure.
Sorry.
No problem.
So I think why I would say I am a feminist is because of this question is if you're not a feminist, then what are you? I usually equate feminism with humanism, because for me feminism how it was conceptualized by a lot of women and men who fought for women's rights was equality. Because women were not considered equal, and also even today in some parts of the world they are not considered equal. It's a sad fact, but it's true.
It's true,
especially from countries like, I don't know, where I come from, or even Germany. In some areas, women are still not considered equal. So that's the definition that I stand by. I don't know what's the definition that's going around today. It's more like what I've heard on some of the podcasts is like, oh no, I hate men. That's not the kind of feminism that I stand for, and I don't even think that is feminism in the first place. So,
I think people should just know what the definition is. Sorry.
No, sorry. I was going to call you short. I just wanted to say, I think I only have limited, window to, contribute into this topic as well.
Watch out what you say, because you're the only guy.
Exactly, that was my point.
Watch out.
Now it's just me and but joke apart. So I am a feminist, but in the sense, so not in the sense of of the radical feminism or the out of the box type. My basic feminism is branching out of being,
traditional.
Being, understanding humans as well, and all of us being humans. So the basic of a human being is everyone have their differences, but that shouldn't stop them. That shouldn't stop you from treating everyone equally.
Yeah, absolutely.
So either you're a man or a woman, you black, you white, whatever you are, you're already a human. Are you already equal to another human being? So it doesn't matter if your, advantage is you can jump higher than a woman. It doesn't matter if, like some of these, our fellow Kenyans that can really run long distance, than, way that more than other people. It doesn't matter. My point is everyone should be treated equally. And of course, everyone should be able to focus on their strengths. And give a bit of space for people who are more stronger, when it's your weaker aspect as well, to also, take it as well. So that's my stand. So for me, anything other than that, I'm interested to have the conversation and talk about it. But, if it turns what you're talking about is then impacting or, demeaning someone else entirely, then for me, that's no longer equality. It's just you being personal. I wanted something for you personal. But because I can give you a lot of stories about this topic that we're going to talk about now. So, so we'll get there to explore it. But, I'll let you guys, continue on your thoughts.
No, don't say you'll let us because you're about to be
part of this conversation.
I'm just standing on the side, having fun and listening to your conversation. No, I think it's interesting though.
I think it is because I feel like, what do you have any opinions? Is there something, Mandy, you were telling me something today while we were packing our things. There was something that you brought up that was very interesting while we were talking about gender roles. Do you remember? Yeah. Now it's going to be difficult.
I mean,
when I mentioned like that, my man, like my husband, will have to help me with like the household stuff. Oh yeah. So basically,
things like that.
Like my view on like gender roles is that, at least in a marriage or in a relationship, I just feel like if my husband works like a lot more hours than I do, let's say I also work, but he just works a lot more, and I am more at home, I'll obviously do like the majority of the work at home. However, I would obviously still appreciate him helping, because at the end of the day, I work as well. He just works more.
Yeah.
So, and for like, considering the fact that we live in the same household, I would just expect that the man also at least like helps to a certain extent. But if we work like exactly the same amounts of hours, I don't think it should be expected from me to be the one who does the house chores or whatever just because I'm the woman.
Yeah.
You know, if we are in a financial position where we can get a helper or whatever, and then we do that, but it should never be like the basis should never be because I'm a woman and he's a man, so I'm going to do this and he's going to do this. No.
Okay.
What's your perspective on this? I mean, I saw you nodding, but we're all from different backgrounds and we have different cultures. I want to know what it's like where you come from, your nationality, if you don't mind mentioning. You did mention that you're from India, right?
I'm from India. Yeah, exactly.
What is it like back home? Do females or women take on female roles and men on their roles, or is it like we do things together? We're in one household. How is it like?
So
where you're from?
It's a bit tricky because a lot has changed in the past decade. Yeah. So from what I remember when I was a child, at my home, we never had these well-defined gender roles as such because both my parents are doctors, so they used to be out a lot. But my grandfather used to do a lot of things at home, like, you know, cook, clean as well, serve the guests. And he did it out of love. Yeah, he did it because he wanted to do it. So if we had, you know, kind of imposed these gender roles, it would have been also unfair to him. You know, we would have been also limiting his aspirations as a human. You know, in quest of making him more of a man, you know, we would have kind of limited his aspirations. But it's not very common, I would say. It's changing, of course, in India, but back then I know that a lot of my friends used to be like, oh, why does your grandfather do that? Why doesn't your grandma do it instead? And it was a bit weird to me, but I understand where they come from because that is what they're used to seeing at home, right? But not anymore. I think now it's changing quite a bit because I think more women are getting into the workforce. So you cannot expect a woman to be at home and do whatever she used to do. I think it's out of necessity more that these roles have become not as existent
so
as
it's
they
more
were.
equal.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, but still, you know, it's as she said, if you are working together, you know, if the both of you are working, then she wouldn't want to be expected to do all the household work just because she's a woman. It's not practical even.
Exactly.
What's your opinion on this, Lorento? Because I feel like, you know, you can have your own opinion, but how do you
free.
Feel free, sir.
Thanks a lot. I'll try. No. I'm free basically. So for me, this is the basis, right? So I have, you know, a couple of sisters, and my mom was also like a very strong woman as well, very hardworking and all of that. So I'm already exposed to what it means for, you know, for a lady to be hardworking, self-sufficient, you know, and all of that as well. So I was watching a video once, and there was this video on Instagram Reel. So the guy was giving his own, you know, description of how this whole feminism stuff evolved. So it was like, you know, back in the, you know, 1400s, 1500s, you know, way back. The reason was because why, you know, women were home, you know, taking care of the kids was because, you know, men are more physical, you know, most times. So they were more, you know, out there, like chasing stuff. And then when women get pregnant, of course, they cannot do a bunch of stuff. So then it pivoted to men just kept on doing those stuff, you know, and then women were way back home, right? So now that we've evolved, and now that, you know, we've, you know, struggled for feminism, equality, and all of that, and women are more, you know, also in the workforce where you don't need to do a lot of stuff physically anymore. You can also work with your brains. You can be smart, and, you know, and all of that. And now men are no longer needed to be that fighter or that hardworking person to be able to protect because you're not needed anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot more. I know there's war fighting everywhere in the world, but there's a lot more security now than way back then. So now it's like guys are just chilling, smoking weed, playing video games, and all of that because they are not needed anymore. Because women are like, so we don't need you to be that physical person anymore. Let's just be partners. And you don't need to, do all of this. So, for me, at the end, at that end, is also what also my thought is as well. These days, almost everyone can survive independently in different situations. And the only reason you need a partner is because you need a partner. And not,
because you want one.
Because you have to have. That's what people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for some people, but of course, it's different for some other people as well, right? It depends on what you like or what's your niche. I mean, if you want to be an housewife, totally fine. It's up to you. And also in turn as well, if someone wants to be a house husband, they can also do that as well. Totally up to them. So I think we've pivoted over that, stigma. So of course, in a lot of places, it's still a bit backward, but I think we're moving towards a trend where these days is, even if not equal in a lot of places, but, it's getting there. But generally, but generally, I'm a listener. I believe in equality.
Are you a feminist?
Yeah, I am a feminist actually. You didn't know that about me.
Interesting.
I am a feminist, yeah.
But I really agree with you because I feel like this whole feminist movement and all this activism that has happened, it's great because now we have all the rights that we did not have like a lot of years ago. But I feel like this movement, what it taught us is that we can be all things, right? We can be nurturers, we can be caregivers because we have that empathetic side, but at the same time we can go out there and rule the world.
Bosses,
we can be CEOs, we can be this, we can be that. So it's more like more like getting in touch with our human self more than our women self. But the same thing has not been done with men. That's my problem with the movement. My problem is that we haven't involved men enough because you know what? Yeah, I agree that this is a whole patriarchal setup and all that. But while you want to make bosses out of women, we should also kind of allow men to be in touch with their nurturing side. That is something that we haven't done enough.
Why? Sorry.
Because you have been told to be gangster.
No.
Everybody's just like,
no. I'll tell you the truth, right? I'll tell you the truth. If you're fighting for your struggle, you're more fighting with people who are in that same struggle with you as well than the people you think are your oppressors, right? So let's say let me use this example, right? So during Martin Luther King time, you saw. I'm sorry?
You weren't even born.
Yeah, no, I know I wasn't even born. It's just trivia, right? It's trivia.
I thought you were that old.
I know, right? I look like that. Yeah, I mean, if we think of it now, 80 years ago or 70 years ago, women in America weren't allowed to vote.
Yeah.
So that was also one thing as well. So what I mean is, even at that point when they were also fighting for the right to vote, you could see women were the one marching to get their rights, and also during Martin Luther, black people were the one marching to go get their rights. So at the end of the day, only people you're in the same struggle with can fight for your right, because you cannot bring your oppressors into it as well, because then you already know they wouldn't agree and they want to keep you down. So that's why bringing men along is a bit more difficult, because you guys see us as the as the oppressors or dominant factor in your struggle.
But I think that's a wrong. Sorry, go ahead.
No, of course, I'm agreeing to be.
No,
Of course.
It's a wrong perspective. I mean, it's really pitting women against men or white people against black.
Exactly.
It's just that we need to be. The whole struggle is that we want to be equal. I know it's an ideal, but we need to get out of this mindset of, you are my enemy. No,
Exactly.
And
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm always a little bit skeptical when I'm asked if I'm a feminist or not, because a lot of the times I feel like being a feminist is associated with having this hate for men.
Yeah,
And
unfortunately.
I really
Yeah.
that's why I always say, for me, it's just normal. And that's why it's not even a matter of like being angry at men or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just for like, I just think to myself, yeah, I'm a woman, but I know I'm just as equally great as another man. So if another man thinks I'm not, that's his problem. I move on with my life.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad or fighting. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And I think what you were trying to say, though, if I understood you properly, is that we are basically encouraging, with the whole feminist movement or feminism movement, we've encouraged women to be not only women, but to be human beings.
Yes.
But we're not doing the same for men. Men are still being encouraged to be men first before they are human beings.
Exactly.
And the thing is, at the end of the day, we all have all aspects. Even
And we
men
all have emotions.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And that's what we need to
Again, it goes to my point, right?
encourage.
Don't get me sorry. I'll let you. Sorry.
I'm done.
Okay, yeah. So it goes back to my point. So don't get me wrong, right? I'm not saying the feminist movement is men versus men. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying because of how it was developed and introduced, just the way you just said, people intuition and their, and the alarm in their head. The first point they go to when you say you're a feminist is like, pitting men against women. So I'm just saying that's not how it should have been done. It should have been done more in terms of generalizing and getting everyone involved. But because of usually how struggles are fought, not from my perspective historically, right? It's always like people in that struggle always feel it's one side. I mean, not like one side against the other in a bad way, but just we're forcing this other side to understand, right? And then when they get their way, the integration aspect is then left out.
I see.
Right, where you then take everyone involved to grow in that perspective and in that mindset as well. So I'm not saying it's men against women in families. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying because of how struggle usually develop and how it goes in terms of how it's organized and everything. Yeah. It was done through that aspect, and then people forgot to take men along as well. Yeah.
Oh, you were left alone.
I know, I was left alone.
So sorry.
You're cool with me.
Thank you.
So sorry.
No, but that's actually a good point, because a lot of the time, but I think it's also, that's how it usually like works when people are fighting for something specific.
Yes. Yeah.
You fight so you get what you wanted, and then once you've gotten there, you're like, okay, at least I've gotten what I've been fighting for such a long time. And you forget that once you've gotten what you wanted, there's still like at least an end phase of the process. Like in this situation would be just to integrate men and women and be like, okay, yes, now we're all equal. There's like women are just as equal as men. But at the end of the day, let's remember we're all humans.
We're human, yeah.
That is what we're fighting for, right?
Yeah.
I think it's going to change though, because look at it. Look at our parents, how things were back then, 50 years ago, or whatever the case is.
During my time, during Martin Luther King time, it was
you was old,
Well, I've heard from my friends in Germany, like, I don't like to say this, but white women mostly, that, they're really proud of this whole suffragette movement that happened in the States, which kind of spearheaded the whole feminist movement, right? And you're like, a lot of women came forward to fight for their rights and such. But my experience as a brown woman, as an Indian, was very different, because the history of feminism in India, it was started by men, because women had no agency, right? They were confined to their kitchens. And a lot of men, like social reformers, advocates and whatnot, who were educated in the UK thanks to colonization, they got introduced to these Western ideas of equality and such. And then they came back home and they're like, I cannot allow this, and they started these movements, which is why I'm, a bit skeptical when people here say that, oh, women fought for us. For me, it was
It's
both
different.
men and women.
So basically, there's still
Yeah.
hope for men,
Yeah,
but it's in
it is.
India. Damn.
No,
So
and
My
18th century in India.
Oh my god.
But that's
No, but here
interesting.
also,
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah.
I think we do a big disservice to humanity when we leave out like 50% of them.
For sure,
Population.
for sure.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
glad you guys have that perspective where you're like, you know what? It still should be fair
Yeah.
for men.
As well.
And you're not looking at it from a perspective of like, no, women should do this. And I really appreciate that from you guys, because it's like looking at it, it's like, okay, maybe times have actually changed. Maybe men do deserve some grace.
Yeah.
You know?
Thank you. Yeah. Alice is standing for me. Thank you. Tell him, please. Yeah, please.
Because
I'm
we
so
don't-
done.
Yeah.
I'm so done.
Oh man.
No. Yes, sorry. I'll
No.
let you
I
finish.
just love. I love looking at people's characters. I love looking at how people think, and it's just like so interesting for me. Like it's just so interesting that people are not just focused on the fact that no, women should do this and women's roles and this and men also have the opportunity to feel a certain way, and they should also be given grace, like I
For
said
sure.
before. And yeah, do you have anything to say? Because I feel like we're just out here
Blabbering.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's okay. I'm just chilling and enjoying the conversation.
I have a question. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no,
go ahead.
for it. No,
No, you go ahead.
No, what I was going to say
Play rock, paper, scissors.
isn't really relevant right now. Don't
Yeah.
worry. Yeah, don't worry. Go ahead.
No,
Yeah.
I wanted to say it's crazy because I mean we're in a time where a lot of us are quite, or not. Let me not say a lot of us, but I think it's more of the general view that women and men are like equal nowadays, because we're no longer like in the 18th century and thinking that there's specific gender roles that should be followed. However, I find it interesting that even till today, or even in this day and age, it's still a topic whether a man should pay for the date when you know.
This is when it comes to gender roles.
Yeah.
So-
So I just want to ask if you can talk about that, because I think that's funny. Because
We should talk about it.
Of course.
It's about time we talk about it.
Part of my list of questions I have for today, so don't worry, finish up.
but no, I think because that's still something that's still heavily discussed. I mean, I've seen it on a lot of podcasts or in a lot of interviews where it's still discussed whether the guy should pay for the first date or like after the first date or whatever. But like,
Or
we
who
claim
should
to
cover
be-
the bills in the household?
Exactly, but we claim to live in like a time in which women and men are completely equal.
So,
I'm
honestly,
still okay with men paying for my dates, just to
Yeah.
say.
yeah. Well, honestly, this is this is part of my my personal opinion on how I've seen how some folks take feminism for is they only take feminism for what they're comfortable with. And what they're not comfortable with, yeah, well, then now we need to start discussing who the man is, right? So, but at least one thing, Jamie also taught me as well is when you go on a date, guys, often a time it's always split or people pay for what they had initially, right? So that's one thing I've appreciated about the feminist movement in general, or
That
the
you can save
general, or
money.
the general
I'm joking.
equality, basically. Yeah, sorry, you want to say something?
No, sorry.
German
Or the
men.
general, no.
No, I said that you appreciated the fact that you can save money because you
Yeah,
don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Maggie
I
has
do.
no filter.
I do actually. No, I do actually. I actually appreciate
Shame.
it.
I'm
You appreciate
joking.
women
Yeah.
paying for their dates.
Of course I do. What the fuck? What? Sorry, mind my language.
appreciate
Yeah, of course I appreciate it.
Being able
Why?
to be a man without a lot of expenses in Germany.
He prefers to be a man
He can
without being
date
a
without,
man.
without
No.
that being expensive.
No, it's okay,
No,
and I respect
No.
that.
You
I'm
know why?
joking.
You know why I appreciate it? No, it's fine. You know why I appreciate it? I mean. So I'm Nigerian, right? So we already believe.
We should have brought another man
that
on this podcast.
Shame.
We already have this belief that, when you take a girl out, you expense for everything. Basically, it's no problem.
Who has that belief?
So we don't have a problem. In a dress like that as well, even, for like medium time I've spent outside, also in Europe, outside of Germany, in the UK as well, there's also like that. But when I came here, like, it was like having, arguing how we're going to pay the bills. I was like, oh, wow, amazing. I was like, amazing, right? So for me, I absolutely appreciate that. I don't really care about anyone else. In that, I mean, not care in a negative way, but I don't care about anyone's else opinion about that. But for me, it's one reason of also seeing from that perspective. And again, like I said, I grew up with women who all through my life, I've seen them take responsibility for themselves. They've worked hard. They've moved to the position to be financially stable and run their own and do their own stuff as well. So being in that scenario and having that mindset, for me, I appreciate it more. At least if not you telling me you're feminist for this and then I should be the man for this, then I'm just now you're just being selfish and that's no longer feminism.
I was actually going to bring up that point. Ladies and gents, the thing is, a lot of women want to be saying, no, you know what? A man should be paying for my bills. He should be paying for my dinner. He should be paying for my holidays. But then when it comes to feminine roles, you're like, oh no, we should be equal. And this and that. That's I think that's why this topic has been brought up, because it's like, what are the roles? What do we have as roles as women? And what should men do? If you want a man to be doing the garbage, to be doing this and that, then you should be able to pay for your own bills.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like, I'm
all for 50-50.
Right? It should be then 50-50.
Unless you're broke, you should pay on the first date.
Okay. Thank you.
But who wants to tell their guy that they're broke?
I think
I told. Sorry. Go on.
No, it's okay. You continue.
No. Don't worry. What I was going to say, I think it wasn't that important.
It's irrelevant.
Okay. No, I just wanted to. I think we should all just stop focusing on certain roles and there being roles or not being roles.
100.
If I go on a date with a guy and he wants to pay for the dinner, that's fine. But if we go and then he's like, can we split? I will split. I have my money. I didn't come here because I didn't have food at home.
No, but then the thing is,
what do you want to see him again though?
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. People are actually so put off by the fact that if a man says, you know what, let's go 50-50, they will not. Really? I guarantee they will not have a date with them. Trust me.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
But in today's day and age?
In Germany, Deutschland.
Oh no.
Tempelhof. Now.
And I thought they were so keen on doing 50-50 in everything.
That
they would be offended if the man offered to pay. No?
What?
Also,
girl, which world are you living in?
I really thought that.
What has your experience been so far? In terms of you and your friends that have been on dates, right?
he's just asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Not for himself, just for a friend.
So there was one experience that a friend narrated to me that she was offended because he offered to pay.
Eh? Which girl? Where was she from?
She's from Germany.
Deutsch.
Yeah.
I've actually heard about that. I've heard that.
And she's like, do you think I'm not able to pay my own bills? That was it. That's what I thought.
I think it's different cultures when it comes to things like that, because I feel like African women are so used to having their bills paid because they're like, oh, he's being a gentleman. He asked me out on this date.
I think also Indian women are like that.
Exactly. So he asked me out on this date, so therefore he should pay. He invited me, so he should pay.
Yeah, okay.
But then that's the thing that people tend to confuse.
When it's a should, it's a problem. He may pay.
Exactly.
If he wants, fine.
If he wants to, let it be. Yeah, if he doesn't want to, then chow cacao.
So honestly, this is one thing I realized, right? I had the chance to meet a lot of people. It's individual based on the individual, right? Each person.
For sure.
So Manny, you mentioned All right. So you do not have a problem if the guy asks you to pay or split the bill. Right. So my question is, if he asks you to split the bill or to pay the bill, would you still go on a second date or still want to see him again after that? Because that's always a very tricky position that a lot of people are.
To be honest, it depends on how the date goes. If I still think he's a good guy and if I enjoyed the conversation and I feel like, okay, this is someone I can imagine seeing for the second time or going on another date with, I wouldn't let one aspect, which is the fact that he didn't pay, make me think, okay, no, I'm never going to see this guy. Like if I thought he's a really good guy and we got along really well, I'm not going to say, okay, because he didn't pay, no fucking way. Okay. Sorry. I'm not going to say, no way. No. If I still, if I thought the date went well, I'd see him again. I would probably make a joke about it and be like, oh, so you're clearly not a provider, but it's okay. I'm not looking for a provider. I'm not looking for a provider, but it's okay. I'm a provider my own. Exactly. I would make like a joke out of it, but I would think it's ridiculous to be like, unless he wasn't that great, and I'm like, oh, okay.
It just depends on the guy.
Yeah, it depends on the guy. Like, I would make my decision based on whether like I got along with him and whether the date was good or not on whether he paid or not. I don't think that's like a determining factor, because the guy could pay for the date and it could be horrendous.
Okay, well, exactly. That was going to be my next question, because you said him not paying and you splitting it is dependent on going on the second date is then dependent on if he's a nice guy. So basically, if he's paying and he's, and the date doesn't really go how you expected it to go, would you still see him?
He will never see me again. Even if you pay. Even if you paid for the most expensive dinner in the most expensive restaurants, if I feel like we don't click, he will never see me again.
All right, I understand.
Because
I love this masses.
What am I going to do with you?
I'm full, but it's okay.
But it's okay.
Thanks. Do you need me to transfer you the money?
Shall I pay now?
Yeah. No, I think I would not. No. But I would not like. It's not like I would fight with him for offering to pay for the whole date, but I would prefer to pay half the bill. Actually, because I wouldn't want that baggage, I don't even know that person, and then
talking about that,
and then you're gonna tell
my gosh,
Then
there's this. Sorry, guys. You know what? Your point just brought me. It's just so funny how when a man pays for dinner or when he pays for drinks or whatever the case is, he feels like now he has authority.
He's entitled.
Exactly. Entitlement. This whole system of like, oh no, now I should take you home and now you have to pay me like that. That's the thing. It's like, now you're in my hands just because you paid the dinner for 45 euros. I'm sorry, why are you grinning?
That's true. No, I'm just laughing.
No, because it's so unfair. Now we feel that's why some women are like, you know what, I might as well just pay my own bill, because y'all are just like feeling like, okay, now let's go home. If you don't come home with me, then you get pissed off. And then you start calling us.
No, do you know why I'm laughing? Because why would anyone be entitled to taking you home for paying for 45 or 50 euro dinner?
Have you met men?
My question is this. You cannot even find a hawker for that amount. So why would you expect a regular person who knows who they are, what they have? So go you after you buy them drinks.
You know what we should do? We should do a questionnaire on Instagram and ask
how many women have been
forced to go.
Oh, okay. If you've ever been in that situation, please comment comment your experience down below. So let's see, or maybe we can create like some sort of like score line to see,
But
yes
trust
or
me,
no.
you're gonna get
in
1,000 yeses because women have been feeling like that.
No.
For
Yes,
sure.
it's terrible.
For
But
sure.
even if the man
the
doesn't
crazy
take you to
people
his
are there.
bed or doesn't force you to do that, he would, still brag about it to his guys.
Yeah.
I paid for it. Yeah, that's not okay.
Exactly.
Like that's so fair.
I would much rather pay for it myself.
Yo, you guys are just giving me vibes right now.
That's true because people are just like, I paid for the dinner,
Yeah.
and now like he's like, okay, now it's a girl.
Yeah.
But like, even speaking on that, I feel like it's not even just with like paying for the dates or paying for the food like on dates. I feel like in general when and this also like belongs to the whole topic of like women and men roles or gender roles at a large. I feel like there's men that I've never been in a situation like this, but I know of a lot of women that date, for example, older men or men who have a lot more money, and they like spend a lot of money on them, and these men just tend to feel like they own this woman just because, like,
Just because they pay.
a lot
Why
more
are
on
you
them.
smiling? It's
And
just
that's
smile.
And that's exactly how I feel like even with like housewives, I kind of feel like it's always a similar situation. Like
Now you have to be submissive.
Now you have to be submissive. Now you have to. If he says no, you're not going on that girl's trip because he's the one who's going to pay for it.
Yeah.
It's sort of like now you become his item just because he spends money on you, and it starts as small as okay, he just paid for the food on one date, and it grows on to being okay. Now we're in a relationship. He makes more money, and he gives you some sort of girlfriend allowance, or he spends money on you, and now he just feels entitled to you.
Now he's he's literally got you on a small thing.
I'm going to ask you three a question.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the other way around, right? He's the house husband.
Yeah.
You're rich. You're waiting. You're paying for his trip, for his clothing and everything. And be like, hey, I want to go on a boys' trip. We're going to somewhere to go have a good time, and then you're going to be stuck at home all by yourself, right? Would you pay for the trip and not give any rules and regulation? Yeah, I'm sorry. Can we start with the Vika?
For sure.
Rules and regulations.
Yeah,
like
no.
what?
So like she said, like
Yeah.
if a girl is married to a rich husband and she wants to go, for example, a guest trip, the rich husband can say, no, you're not going for the guest trip. I'm the one paying for the bill, and you're not going for sure. All right. So now I'm saying if it's the other way around, because now we're talking about gender role and equality, right? Yeah. So if it's the other way around, the guy say, house husband. I wouldn't use myself as an example because I would never be a house husband.
Why?
No, I just like to walk.
Yeah.
I
You want to
don't
go
feel
on the boys'
comfortable.
trip?
I don't feel comfortable
If you don't
I'm not doing something with my hands, right?
I'm joking.
Okay, so let's say they're going to South America to have a good time. Yeah. So would you be entitled to tell him, no, I don't want you to go because I'm all going to be all by myself, and because you're the one spending all the money, you're the one taking all the responsibilities. Would you do that? Yeah, just be fair. Just be fair. Yeah.
So to begin with, I wouldn't prefer someone who's not working at all. Like, there can be a phase in their life where they're not working, irrespective of whether they're a man or a woman. Yeah. Because I cannot relate to a life situation where I'm the only breadwinner. It's really daunting that I'm responsible for another. Yeah, but still.
Just volunteer.
But if that were to happen, if he wants to go like every month on a boys' trip, of course I would say it's not okay.
Okay.
But if he wants to go like just once in a while. And if it's just about me being alone, then I think it's more of a me problem.
Exactly.
Because I cannot be alone by myself without my partner. And I need to go see a therapist
Okay.
to treat my codependency.
So you can say that should be the standard for both ways, right?
Yes,
For
of
sure.
course.
Yeah, so Mani and you?
I feel the exact same way. I feel like
If it is that same way.
I
Okay.
feel like if I'm the one, to be fair, I can't imagine myself being with a house husband because
Okay.
apart from the fact that not because there's nothing wrong. If you want to be a house husband, please be that. It's totally fine. Exactly the way it's totally fine to be a housewife as well.
Yeah.
But I feel like I just wouldn't be able to relate to someone who's not also challenging themselves in a work context or who's like just doing something other than just being at home. So I probably wouldn't be in a situation like that either. However, if I were to be in that situation, hypothetically speaking, and he wanted to go on a boys' trip, I feel like if I'm okay with giving him money to go and buy himself clothes or buy himself shoes, what is the difference if I'm giving him money to go on a boys' trip? Because now it's just it's no longer a matter of providing. It's a matter of just me wanting to use my power, and that's what I think is just not okay. Because clearly it's not about the fact that he's going on a boys' trip. It's the fact that I'm misusing the power that I have since I'm the one who's the breadwinner. And exactly how I feel like that's how a lot of men who are the breadwinners or who mainly just support their girlfriends or like wives financially, I feel like that's the same way. They're just misusing the power that they know they have just because this woman is financially dependent on them.
Okay, I mean, you're giving a lot of people go ahead to be our husband.
No,
you're saying it's a problem.
But that's true.
You're saying it's not a problem, though.
I feel like it's not a problem, but unless you're finding ways.
Sorry, I was going to come to you.
Sorry.
No. I mean, you should continue giving your opinion.
I was just saying, you can be a house husband, but
There's always a but.
you gotta find ways of making money while you're at home.
Making videos.
But that's the busy purpose.
Yeah, he's a home office husband.
Yeah, okay. Remote. He's working from home.
Sorry. Exactly. No, I did not. My mother did not give birth to me to come to this life to suffer. Why am I suffering for him? And right? I've been struggling my entire life. Now I need to struggle again.
Okay, brings me to my next question. Yeah, bring me to my next question.
No, but we need to ask you the same question.
No, I'm coming. I'll just ask this question and then I would answer all your questions. I'm here for your questions. No worries. So, would all you guys? So let's say your husband is very rich. Rich. That he can take care of everything. Would you be okay being a housewife?
No.
Okay, thank you. That was very straight.
That was very quick.
No communication.
I cannot imagine myself not working.
Yeah,
thank you.
I need my paycheck every month.
But would you take part-time role or you still want to work full-time?
Full-time.
Full-time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it depends on the stage of life, right? If I feel like, okay, I'm content with part-time and I can take care of myself if we were to separate, because that's a possibility.
Exactly.
I would be fine, but if not, then I would work full-time.
Yeah, and money.
To be fair,
let's be fair.
I would never be okay with being a housewife that doesn't do anything, like that just sits at home and does house chores, because I need to challenge myself. I need to do something.
Yeah.
However, if my husband is rich enough to sustain like our entire lifestyle as well as our children, I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't go to work because I need to go to work. I would go to work because I want to go to work, which means I'd probably do a lot of things like in the community service sector. So I would do things that I would have done if like I didn't have to work. So I would still definitely work, but I wouldn't work for money.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would work do things that I would have done if life worked in a way where we didn't have to work. But it doesn't.
Yeah, I think I would agree with both of you guys, but life is about self-development, right? And once you stay at home, you're constantly doing the same thing. You wake up, you cook, you repeat. If you have children, you're taking them to school, and it becomes very repetitive. So a lot of women become bored, and then they end up doing things. Yeah, and then they start becoming mentally ill, and that's something that we want to avoid.
Exactly.
For me personally, if I'm going to be a housewife, I want to do something like, let's say if I'm doing podcasts, or if I'm doing content,
something
something that
charity.
that's fulfilling, or if I'm doing charity work, whatever cases, then it's okay because my husband is rich enough to donate money to people, so I will go and do whatever the case is. But it's this thing of just sitting at home and not doing anything is so like daunting.
Absolutely.
So I don't see myself doing that. Would you mind having a housewife?
No. Honestly, I think I had this conversation with someone like a few days ago. I wouldn't mind if self-sufficient enough. But for me, generally, my attraction to anyone is first your intellect and to your, I mean, I'm not talking about crazy ambition, but just, at least just have some goals you want to achieve, basically, generally. So that's always my first attraction to anyone. So if you're not, if you're none of that, then for me, it's mostly just boring, right? Because I'm like, I mean, then it's just, right. It's just there. It's just there. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just saying it doesn't like stimulate me in any way. So if it doesn't, then I want us to talk about something intellectual, something about work. Sometimes your experiences about work, how it's going, how you can make this better, and you can also chip into my personal development as well, and I can chip into yours as well. So for me, if there's nothing like that, then it's I don't know. Then it's just it's just one-sided, and I don't really fancy one-sided because it's just boring, to be honest.
And I think when you're not doing much or interacting with the outside world as much, you tend to get bitter, and very insecure,
absolutely,
and then you start hating on other women, and that is not okay.
For sure.
You become, because you're just staring at yourself the whole day.
Exactly.
That's all you do.
And you're watching life go past you.
And you see other women who are flourishing, and you're
exactly.
And you're just like, that's
and
a
then
very
you
good
also
point.
get like resentment because you feel like, okay, you're in this position because you're married to someone who can sustain both of your lives, but at the end of the day, it was probably your guys' decision that you're now the housewife. But regardless of that, I feel like resentment builds up like without one even being aware of it. So
I totally agree with that as well.
And then you have these midlife crises where like, what am I even doing?
You have a midlife crisis at like 35.
Absolutely.
But I think midlife crises are always interesting, though. I mean, anyway, for guys, maybe because we do some freaky ass, adventurous stuff. Yeah, we go climb a mountain, or buy, a convertible, and we're just living life. That's why I said it's way more interesting for guys. So but of course, I don't think I'll go through midlife crisis anyways.
We just hope and pray for the best. If you do, we're there for you.
Thank you for being that.
Aren't you just sweet?
Absolutely sweet. Absolutely sweet. Thank you for being that. I'll remember to call you though.
I'm here. Holler.
We are witnesses. She said she's going to be there for you.
She said. So,
anyways, do you guys have anything you'd like to say? Some advice you'd like to give to the youth? Even though you're a youth, but babes, you're 28.
No, but I'm still youth. I'm young at heart. I'm 21.
Are you guys a youth though? I'm the only I'm the only grandpa because I was born during Martin Luther King.
Exactly.
I was there when he gave his "I Have a Dream" speech.
You witnessed history.
I was there.
So we would like to start with something small, like something motivational for the young women out there.
Do you want to start?
I don't know. I would say be financially independent. That's really important because that gives you a lot of agency to make decisions. Also be emotionally independent and don't get yourself tangled up in all these frameworks. Just try to be more human. Don't be like, no, I'm either going to be a doormat or I'm going to hate men. That never works. Just enjoy life. Try to enjoy life. I know life is not easy. I'm saying it from a place of privilege.
Mm.
And a lot of women have it really hard, I know. But there are still a lot of things in life to look forward to. And
Yeah, 100. Yeah,
just be human. Try to find things that interest you truly and go after them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Nice,
Awesome.
lovely.
Yeah.
Mandy?
I would say like something similar actually. Like I encourage not only women but like men as well. Like everyone in general, be a human being first before anything.
Yeah.
It will just give you so much peace in life if you just remember I'm a human being first before I'm a black person or a woman or this or a wife or whatever. Just remember first I'm a human being first, because if we all just remember that we all have that common basis, that we're all human and we're all trying our best, we would just be a lot more compassionate to one another.
100.
You know? And
Absolutely.
besides that, like, have your own bag. This is to my ladies. Have your own money. Like, it doesn't matter what.
Please.
Have your own money. Like, financial independence is literal independence.
It's so delicious.
Absolutely.
And be authentic.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
What do you have to say for the men out there?
Enjoy your midlife crisis.
Oh my gosh, you're so crazy.
I think for me basically it's pretty straightforward. So just be human, just be compassionate, empathetic, right? There's no dominant person basically, right? We are all humans. We are going to live and we are going to die. So just be compassionate and empathetic to everyone. Doesn't matter man, woman, black, white, Asian, Latina. That's just my personal opinion.
Love it.
Yeah, and of course, guys, enjoy your midlife crisis. Yeah, so speaking of gender role as well, I've been wanting to ask this. So, because in the more traditional sense, we may expect that, when you give birth, you take care of the kids, for, like nurture them for a long time or how long it takes. And then you're in charge of like cooking, cleaning, laundry, in the house and doing those traditional women stuff, right? So my question is this, would you guys be comfortable or open to such a scenario, or you think about it differently? So I'll go with you, Mandy. Yeah, we can start with you, Mandy.
I think when it comes to nurturing children, obviously, as a woman, I will probably instinctively do more of that, or do it a lot more than my husband. But I definitely still think that fathers play an important role in the development of a child. So as much as I'll do the nurturing, he's supposed to do, I don't know, what do fathers do? Whatever they do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Stuff.
Whatever they do. I think any child needs both roles in their lives or in their development. Like they need the nurturing, but they also need the fatherly side. So I think that is definitely something that should be done equally. It shouldn't be a matter of, just because I'm the woman, I should spend a lot more time with the children while my husband is on some business trips. No. And or with cooking, for example, or house chores. Firstly, I don't like cooking. So, me and my husband, we're going to have to be rich enough to get a chef. He either needs to love how to cook. You must cook. Or love it, or you must have enough money for us to get a chef. I'm not done.
Okay.
No. The thing is, if I'm not gonna pay for the chef alone, the chef will be cooking for the entire family. So he must have enough money. I will make sure I have enough money, and then we'll get a chef so that we can still be fed. But otherwise, I am not going to be expected to cook just because I'm the woman. No, don't like cooking. No.
Right.
So, but I will clean. But he will also clean because he will also make the house dirty. I will not clean up after a grown man.
Are you also going to cook as well? I mean,
Well,
he's not going to be doing all the cooking though. If you say you're not doing all the cleaning, is he going to be doing all the cooking
I
as
will
well?
help, but not like what I'm saying is that I will not be expected to cook simply because I'm the woman. Because
Okay.
I'm a woman, but I don't like cooking. So
All right,
we
understand.
have a
So
problem
it could be 60-40, 70-30, basically.
yeah, or even 50-50. I don't mind, but I
Alright.
just don't don't expect that I will be doing most of it just because of
All right,
my
yeah,
gender.
And how
Yeah.
about you, Devika?
Okay. So when it comes to children, I think biologically in the first year or so, or in the first 6 months, it's the mother
Yeah.
Okay.
that needs to be there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be like, yeah, okay, the dad must take care and I will go and work. It's not possible, really,
It's
because
not
they
realistic.
do need
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
But having said that, after that, I would really like my child to have both her
Both
or his parents present. I don't want him or her to get that trauma. Oh, I never met my father. He was always away. Or,
Yeah.
all that trauma that kids end up getting.
After
Yeah.
in years,
Yeah.
they start
No.
treating their women
No.
like shit
And-
because of their fathers.
Exactly.
No, but I don't
And-
think that causes trauma, though. I mean,
It does.
I mean, another topic.
Okay.
Sorry.
Maybe we can make another podcast.
Yeah, I'll let you finish.
No,
Sorry.
but I would really like their father to be there because that conveys a message to them that I will always have my parents,
Yeah,
and I don't want them to be growing up with these gender roles.
Okay.
That
100.
it's the mom's responsibility to look
Yes.
after me, so I'm going to do the same. If I'm a woman, then I'm going to do the same, or if I'm a man, I'm going to expect the same from my wife.
Yeah.
I don't want the
Yeah.
cycle to repeat.
Yeah.
itself.
And how about the household wife
Cooking,
expectations? Yeah.
I don't like to cook, but
Okay.
But-
Do you guys like to cook though?
Huh?
Do you guys like to cook though?
Huh?
Okay.
no, but
I'll
I
let you
think
finish, yeah.
no, but
Yeah.
I think it's a basic need, right? You have to feed yourself.
Of
So I think
course.
both men and women need to know how to cook.
Exactly.
Even if you can't cook like amazing meals or whatever, I think all of us need to know how to cook. That's a basic skill.
Mhm.
But I would really like it if it was 50-50. I would
Okay.
prefer to do all the cleaning if you are doing all the cooking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deal. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's a
It's the
perfect
deal.
deal.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I
a
don't
deal.
mind washing
Oh,
dishes.
that's actually perfect.
And
for me
nowadays
because,
men have
yeah.
all these channels, where they're cooking. So I
Exactly.
assume
Yeah.
that they love to cook.
Yeah.
That's
So,
crazy.
No,
I
for
see
me,
a lot of
yeah.
male chefs on
Exactly.
YouTube and Instagram.
Exactly.
So,
All right, so I guess I will have more chances if I'm a chef.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I would
I
get
think
more
if you're a
chances
chef,
I'm a
then
chef, yeah.
people would actually.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
all I can say, hey, you don't worry.
I'm
we
a chef.
never need to worry about cooking in your life again. I'm a
She's
chef.
like, let's go.
Let's go.
We get married.
Yeah, no,
Let's get
yeah, no, but honestly, I find cooking interesting though. Personally,
You're the only
I
one.
mean, I cook almost all what I eat. The only reason I eat out is, I need to go for dinner with someone, I need to go for brunch, or I need to eat at work, or just one of those days where you just order in. But most of what I eat, I cook myself, and I just stock my fridge. I mean, not a lot, but it's just me, and I just stock my fridge basically afterwards. Yeah. But
Nice.
yeah. So, but what's your thoughts about that, Alison? Like, the same question. I understand.
I think I'm mostly on the girl side because
sisterhood.
like
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
the thing is,
I studied that basically. So
the thing is, some guys will want to be saying, no, you have to be the one cooking, and I do my stuff, I do the manly rules. Like, no, why can't we be cordial? Why can't we live in harmony? And why can't you also, if I cook, you clean. If you cook, I clean. Vice versa. You just need to be on the same page. And that's how life is not always like that. But that's how people end up getting along and end up being together forever.
But
Yeah.
also a lot of women shame you for not being able to cook as a woman.
Yeah.
More than the men.
Yeah,
That is what I
but then you know what? They should come and teach me how to cook.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I mean,
Yeah.
if my food tastes better than yours,
Then it's okay. Some of us were spoiled brats and we didn't cook when we were young.
Yes.
I was not taught how to cook. sorry.
Oh, all right, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, you had
sorry.
siblings and they
Oh, you
cooked.
have siblings and they cooked, and you're just a younger
Yeah,
one.
you're the last
Chief,
born.
give us some great stories.
Exactly.
Stop boring us with your you can't cook.
No,
Okay,
but
okay.
I have had a lot of women kind of
Yeah.
shame me for not
Yeah.
Oh, really?
knowing how to cook.
Oh, is
Crazy.
it?
Yeah, more than
Yeah.
the men actually.
Oh,
The men
okay.
never,
Yeah.
like I never experienced that from
Yeah.
the men directly, but
Yeah.
Crazy.
from women. They were
But-
like, you don't know how to cook, you're never going to find a husband.
Oh,
That just shows.
wah, wah.
I
Yeah,
think that
seriously.
just shows that how
Mm.
it shows how
So
deeply ingrained,
I mean,
these roles are,
patriarchy,
even
yeah.
in women as well.
Yeah.
It's
Which
not
is
just
sad.
women,
Which is
women.
sad.
They're victims, you know.
Exactly,
They're
exactly.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
super
But
sad.
yeah, it's okay if you can't cook, women.
It's okay
It's
not to
okay.
be okay.
It's okay.
It's okay not to know.
You're great
I mean,
regardless.
again, no one is 100%. That's why there's always communication in a relationship.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
always, like I said initially, at the initial point, everyone has just strengths and their weaknesses.
Mm.
And yeah, that's why if you have a partner, they also have to understand that as well, and then they have to be a compromise from both parties in between. Yeah, so that's all I have to say for today. I have enjoyed you guys' conversation.
Yeah, it was so
I
Thank
wish
you for having
I wish I
us.
was
Thank
just in
you
the
so
background
much.
listening to the conversation, but I had to cheap it by force. At least it
Yeah,
was forcing
by
me.
force.
so sorry.
Yeah, but
Sorry, not sorry.
I absolutely enjoyed talking with you guys. And,
Yeah.
I'll let Alison conclude the entire episode.
No, I have nothing else to say, but I enjoyed I enjoyed this thoroughly. You guys have very bright minds, and it's refreshing to see such ambitious women. It just tells me that you don't need men, even though you have men in your lives, but still. Sometimes you just, sometimes it's just okay to just be individual and just, like you said, make your bag. But what I have to say to this is, don't believe what's on the internet. Instagram is a lie.
Yes.
Just be yourself. I think everyone said this. Just be yourself. Just be human. Be kind to one another. Smile at each other, even if you don't know each other.
Yes.
Just remain positive so that the world could be a better place. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. From my team and my guests, we're calling it
Please, guys, don't forget to like, share, and follow us as well on our platform. Yeah. And I don't know if you can add this. We have our messages. We have our messages as well, so you can always order some if you need some. I
we
think
have
they're
some
pretty
cool
good.
shirts.
They're really
and
nice.
it's always awesome. Yeah.
And gifts
So you have
get
it in white and
free
black.
merch. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Guys get free t-shirts and
Yeah.
caps.
Alright, guys. Ciao.
Peace
It's a
out.
good
Bye.
one. Yeah. Bye.